at the Invisible Sister screening, and I'm so excited for the movie. It looks so cool. Can you tell us about your character?
Cleo is very introverted, and she is very much more into herself, whereas Molly, in comparison, is much more outgoing and much more, public with her life. And I think Cleo, she, I think, has been kind of taught that there's a specific standard for beauty, and that she does not fall within that standard and with that standpoint. So I think that definitely affects her, and we kind of see how she goes through that in the movie.
One of the messages in this movie is accepting your individuality, and I think that's such an important message. So thank you for doing a movie like this. I think it's so great. What would you tell to a fan right now who's going through a hard time and just needs to hear like a word of encouragement?
Sure. I know that, teenagers go through this. Everybody goes through this, but especially teenagers and especially young people. I think it's really hard to know who you are when you're going through when you have to deal with a million other things too. So I'd say that it's really important, and I've learned this too, to say no to things, and know to take time for yourself too, and to make sure that like when you come home and like you're sleeping in your bed, like you're comfortable with like who you are. And so if you need to take time out of your day to like get to know yourself and like see how you're compatible with certain things. I think also to know that everything happens for a reason. So that kind of that constitutes in every single area in life. So yeah.
So if you had to pick like one favorite moment in the film, what do you think it would be?
I guess one of my favorite scenes, which you'll see in the movie, and one of my favorite things to film was the scene on the trolley, because we filmed on a real trolley, and like we they rented out the track too, so we just kept on going around the track for miles and miles, which is really, really cool, because you kind of got to see New Orleans, and you felt like you were really like, I don't know, I felt like I was really in the character's head, so it was cool.
Now, without spoiling the film too much, if a fan hasn't heard of this movie yet, why should they watch it? What would you tell them is like the best thing to see about this?
Sure. I would say this is a really cool film, I think, to watch for girls, especially because I think it kind of celebrates that you don't have to look a certain way, you don't have to be a certain way to please people. And I think girls, especially, we put a ton of pressure on ourselves to exceed everybody's expectations. And so I think that's something that Cleo definitely struggles with. I think it's a great film about sisterhood and about coming together with other girls and other women and knowing that they're not your competition. And I think that's something that Cleo learns with Molly too. So yeah.
I'm super excited to see the movie, but I'm also excited because I hear you have a pretty big Girl Meets World episode coming up, a 3-part. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. Girl Meets Texas is our 3-part episode, which basically we go to Peyton's or Lucas's hometown, Austin, Texas, and we go to Texas, and a lot happens there. We kind of address, all of this relationship stuff and all this friendship stuff, and it's basically a whole 3-part episode. I think, honestly, it comes down to human nature and, like, what we do for others and what we do for ourselves.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us, and I can't wait to see everything.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.